Hey there, welcome back to my channel. I'm Erin, a military spouse and teacher turned photographer, and in this series I'm bringing you along for the ride as I prepare my business for its third move in 4 years. Now, I do have one technical update for you this month, but otherwise, most of my work over the last couple of weeks has been personal. I did the big website update at the end of last month and then took a couple weeks off for the holidays, and then have really just jumped back into the actual PCS planning. This move is going to look different for us than any of our other ones have since we've had kids. And so there's just been a little extra work that's had to happen to get all of the logistics squared away. So to catch you up, I am moving out in just a couple weeks ahead of the rest of my family to meet the VA loan occupancy requirement and just start to get us settled, which is not ideal, but it is what makes the most sense for our family. And as with all things, I am determined to make the most of it. Now, I wasn't too thrilled about making an 18-hour drive by myself. So I actually reached out to one of my best friends, and she is going to come with me, which I am so excited about. She also works remotely, so we are just gonna make the trip out there together and give her a little taste of what a military move looks like. I am sure that she is so pumped to sleep on an air mattress and work from a camp chair and probably spend a ton of time sitting on the floor. Hopefully she'll still be my friend when all of this is said and done. But for real, once we're there, I'm going to have very few responsibilities other than taking care of myself. And so I know if I'm not intentional that my time is going to disappear. So as tempting as it would be to, I don't know, sit on the floor, not the couch, the floor, and watch Gilmore Girls and eat pretzels and Nutella, that's probably not the best use of my time. I would really like to strike a nice balance of resting and having fun and relaxing and actually doing some productive things. So for the first time ever, I am going to try time blocking to structure my days. And that's really what I've been working on for these last couple of weeks. So let me show you how that's going and what I think it's going to look like. Okay, so I started by doing a full brain dump of all of the things that I want to work on while I'm out there. Business tasks, personal tasks, home tasks, all of it. I wasn't really concerned about what was going to happen when. I really just wanted all of it out of my head and in one place so I could decide what's manageable for this chunk of time. Then, with a little help from ChatGPT, I realized I didn't need a strict schedule every day. I really just need a repeatable daily rhythm. So I decided on 4 main work blocks that I'm going to use to structure my days. So I'm going to start in the mornings with some quiet time, no phone, a workout, shower, breakfast, just kind of a slow, easy start to the day. And then I will do my late morning block, which will be kind of my big block of the day, 2 to 3 hours of dedicated deep work, whatever those big tasks are, maybe ones that I don't really want to do. I'm going to, have a focused period of time where I'm going to get those things done. Then I'll do an afternoon block where I'll have lunch. I'll do kind of the lighter admin tasks, maybe some creative things, house projects, errands, just things that don't require as much focus as the morning block will. And then I'll end my day with an evening block with dinner, FaceTiming my family, and just having some chill downtime at the end of the day. So with my list of all the things that I want to do and the blocks that I'm going to try to fit them into, I started to decide what tasks match with what blocks. So for example, registering my business as a foreign entity in Colorado is definitely a deep work, late morning task, whereas working on our family yearbooks is a little bit lighter, more creative. That feels more like an afternoon task. So I did this for the rest of my list, and then I adapted a Canva template because obviously I want this to be pretty, and I started to map out the weeks at a high level. Now, your tasks would be different than my tasks, so I'm not going to show you everything I'm doing, but here is a quick look at what one of the weeks could look like. The goal here isn't to maximize productivity, but just to give the days enough structure so my time doesn't disappear. Now, like I said, I've never done this before, so this is very much a trial run for me. If it goes well, maybe I will incorporate it into my regular workflow once we get settled out there. If it doesn't go well, that will be good information for me too. We'll just have to see how it feels and how manageable it seems once real life really kicks back in. Clear communication is something that is always important to me, but it is especially vital during a period of transition. I want to be incredibly clear with my potential clients about who I'm serving and where I currently am. for a couple reasons. First, I don't want to string a family along if I'm not available to work with them. And second, nothing is worse from my perspective than getting to my new location, feeling like I've booked one of my first couple clients, only to find out that they're actually still in the old location, and all of that was really just a waste of time. So even though my move is all over my website and social media, my past experience tells me that people still fall through the cracks. So I am going to include this transition in yet another place, hopefully to catch some of those people that maybe didn't read my website or don't follow me on social media. And I'm going to do that in my initial inquiry reply. So a potential client submits the contact form on my website. I have an automated email that goes out that introduces myself and sends my pricing information. During my transition, I'm actually going to tweak that email to include what's going on in my life right now. So I wanted to show you what that looks like here. I have two different email templates, one for family and newborn sessions and one for military events. So I'm going to get those updated in both places. And you'll see right now that I have these from my last move when I was going from Virginia to Ohio. So I'm just going to tweak this to reflect my new move coming up to Colorado. So I'm going to say, if you haven't heard, my family is moving to Colorado Springs. So if you're inquiring about a session in Ohio, I'm not available. But if you're inquiring about a session in Colorado, then I would love to chat. And I've got kind of the rest of the information here that I typically send out in an initial inquiry email. I recently went through and updated my pricing guide, so I know those. The link here is reflective of my new pricing. So I'm just going to go ahead and save this and do the same thing for the military event one. My family is PCSing to Colorado Springs. So if you're inquiring about event in Ohio, I'm not available in Colorado. And then for this one, I like to include a date since oftentimes people are planning their events a little bit further out. I just want to make sure that they're clear on when the date is there. So I'm going to save that. And then the last thing that I need to do is actually update my workflow templates so that this email is the one that gets sent out to potential clients. So I'm using Studio Ninja. This is the backend CRM that I use for everything. So I'll just show you what that looks like in here. I'm going to go to my family session workflow and I'm going to edit the initial inquiry response to be the moving template. And I'll save that. And then I'm going to use that same template in my newborn session workflow. We'll make that change here as well. And then the last one to update is the military event one. I don't have any mini sessions going currently, so I don't need to update it there. But I will update this one and make sure I select the military event one. And now I should be all set to go. So anytime someone inquires with me until I switch it, they will get this automated response that tells them where I am, what's going on, so that hopefully I won't be in a situation where I have somebody reach out and they think that I'm available to work with them in Ohio when I'm already in Colorado. So I found that this worked pretty well for my last move and hope that it does again for this one. Well, that's it for this month, which means that's a wrap from my studio here in Ohio. If you are watching in real time, I would love to have you follow me on Instagram, where I'm going to be sharing all of the details surrounding the move as they're happening. But otherwise, stay tuned here as well for an update once I am settled in my new studio and office space in Colorado. Thank you so much for watching, friend. If you have any questions, please drop those in the comments below or reach out in Photographers Changing Stations, and I will see you next time.